back to the stream. It's been a while actually since I streamed. Well, I skipped out yesterday because I had to do some administrative work and everything. But generally speaking, yeah, the past few days has been quite intense in the sense that on Friday I ended up having to do like a video. On Saturday I had like a meeting with someone, and here we are now. Naturally, let's do a fit check first. I'm a bit tired. Today it's just so I only have green and like jeans and everything. Oh, and what I did was right now, as you can see over there, there's a bit of a mood board going on because I need to know how to track my thoughts and keep visibility going. And we finally got to installing a mood board. It's on the works, but I've changed some of the delegation of my work over from my partner to me because I've come to realize that part of it is in the visuals, part of it is really the repackaging and remarketing. So as it stands right now, see, uh, you probably may not be able to see this from here. And I'm in the process of still trying to figure out my gimbal. It has a life of its own. I don't know why it does that. But my partner is doing the product, which is a portfolio. We cannot exist without a product. I'm doing the packaging, which is how we're going to serve the portfolio onto a piece of table so that our customers can eat nicely. Now, like, if we're going to do quite a higher price business, we're going to have to do it a bit more intelligently. So I'm going to put it in the context of a restaurant. Has anyone been to, say, different tiers of restaurants? For instance, let's say you have like cheap restaurants, mid-tier restaurants, and then you got your more expensive ones, the higher class ones. And what you tend to notice is that the higher and more expensive you go, the more not only the control is there a greater control of like the food, but the food becomes more thematic. It becomes a fundamental system of the restaurant. And at the highest point, it becomes something that they have an opinion to say about the food. I've never been to a Michelin star restaurant before, so like a really high-end fine dining Michelin star restaurant before, but I like to watch food. I live vicariously through the act of seeing people eat food. And what I tend to notice is that like high Michelin stars like restaurant or like fine dining restaurants such as like Noma, they all kind of built it over their menu over a team of things. And naturally, if you were to actually replicate that process into a design, you should really think of the cost as a design cost. So my job now has kind of shifted a bit. Well, it's not shifting a bit. I try to say that as Avengers, quite honestly, an evolution. It's just an evolution of what I used to do. As an operator, I oscillate and sales and operator, I oscillate between ensuring that every system's to go. The word system is such a curse word, man. Like honestly, like everything's a system, isn't it? Versus outreach. So it's both internal and external. Our internal should be functioning healthy, and external should be functioning well. Now, I just ensure that internal are functioning well. My partner builds the internal, and I make sure the internal just plays well. And then after that, I deliver it to the guests or the consumer, so to speak. So that's basically my role. Yeah, anyway, on the agenda today, we're gonna diverge a bit because I actually want to set our mood board going, and a combination of this is basically either text, visuals, and so forth, and I'll be in charge of putting them all together. So number one is definitely break down the visuals of our mood board. I'll probably be a little bit more lethargic today if anyone does notice this. That's simply because my whole body hurts. That's what happens when you train with you train twice. Now I try my best to be more reductive of my training and everything, but like at the end of the day it hurts. So what changed in terms of our system, in terms of our responsibilities? So now the services is also going to be changed as well. Most of this are going to be changed by me, handled by me, and then visualized by her. You know. Now for the most part, actually you can do Arthur and Philip. Oh, I didn't know you can do that too. So Arthur and Philip. I'm just going to do Arthur and Philip for the most part. My fiance handles the visualization. I handle the system thing. Ah, so slow. So what does that mean for today? That means for today we're going to just screenshot a lot. Now I try to be a bit more like intelligent about things. Not intelligent about things, but a bit more, I don't know, immersed into my work. So when I go outside, and I will be going outside for a couple of days this week, so streaming is going to be much less. Or maybe we handle in the morning. Maybe I'll do the streaming in the morning, and then after that visualize it as I go. But this will be done outside, riding. It's the only way you can go do things. With no screen, no laptop, just absolute boredom and just writing, and then you can get an infinite amount of time. And then and afterwards, you know, trying to find a middle ground of how to integrate that. I think it's quite important for our business to be, our copy to be integrative. Like, such a big word. I don't really like it. I think go toilet. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to put all the words I want to use into the copy of the other words. It's easier said than done, but you know, as I do this, as each day that goes by, I find a larger and greater disdain for to use like big words until I need to use big words and I'll go ahead and play the part. But I don't really like it, to be honest. If you can't even communicate things in the simplest form, you're definitely do not know what you're doing. Ow. What's this? Jonge. Wat graag wil ik je bedanken voor je interesse en sollicitatie naar de vacature van content marketeer. Helaas moet ik mededelen dat je niet in aanmerking... Okay, so this guy didn't get it. Jonge. Zonder zone without room for experiment. Snap je wat precies wat op MA verwachten bereiken, like daarnaast. Yeah. As much as I like to do marketing, I can't really work in this country without speaking fluent Dutch. For anyone that's trying to go to Netherlands, by the way, you can live here without Dutch. Sure, you sure as hell cannot thrive here without Dutch. No way. Ain't happening. They'll be so selective. It's kind of because that the English language has kind of transform itself a bit. You know, in the past, the English language seems to be, you know, something that is considered a language. Now, it's more like an expected language, and therefore it has devalued itself in place of other people that can speak other languages as well. Whatever the case. So we are going to have to do all of that. We're going to do menu, benefits. No, we don't do benefits because that sucks. We don't need to tell people what's beneficial because we assume that they already know it is beneficial, and we're going to have to keep optimizing, yeah, until we get it done right. So today we are going to be hunting for screenshots, which means you guys get to see a lot more visual stuff, to be honest. So let's go. First and foremost is the menu. You know, that's how my imaginary ghost girl says that, menu, not menu, menu. Cool. So one thing I want to like change about our menu is that c'est trench le bear. Ah la la, sacré bear. I actually want our menu to be a call to action. This one doesn't have a menu. Oh, it does have a menu appears, but you see, that's a lot. As a matter of fact, I don't really like this. I don't really like this a lot. That's a lot. I think we should say more about that. And I think that our call to action should be immediate. Like, first thing is to always make sure that people can reach us and to know how to reach us really quickly. And I guess there's some ways of doing this. Like, thank God I've done the work before, so I now know how to retrack this. Like when you over here, you also see the same thing, you know, like work, news, about, action, because that's basically answering the question. I want to know about your work. Let's go here. News is something that, I mean, we're not there yet, so I don't think we can quite implement news. But about, okay, if you want to know where we're about, let's go straight there. To be honest, or contact. That I believe are the fundamental things you should know. If everything else can be scrolled downwards, there's like no reason to actually like go beyond. I think we have to run the assumption that that they may not even be wanting to scroll down more, you know. A lot of times we gotta maybe understand that whoever comes to our space, we have about a few minutes to grab their attention. And if someone that's willing to spend, and placing our mind as someone who's readily able to spend 20,000 euros on a whim, they have a lot of decisions to make. So we in turn should reduce the barrier for them to make a decision. Two things: reduce the barrier for them to make a decision and grab their attention immediately. I think my thing. What a weird song. Yeah, that song was so weird. Okay. So then the purpose of the menu is to simply answer their immediate question, in my opinion, and nothing more than that. I don't want any I think like it should be distractionless. So let's even look at this one. Like here, even look at this, right? That menu really how do I say? It has zero distractions of what they want to communicate. And when I look at ours, I see quite a bit of distractions, and we're gonna move away from that. Okay. Actually, no, now I think about it, how much is the price of that, to be honest? Oh, wait. Oh, just use some masking tape and then put that there. It's gonna get real ratchet, but I like garage. Sometimes, I like garagey feels because garagey feels just makes you feel like you're actually working. How is my fiance actually and ever going to find that? Alright, here. Even better. Two things. Our work, contact us. We don't need to say more. I don't think we are doing right. We want to say more. See, and also they use contact us. In this one, they use it with color. So it just kind of evoke a strong sense of thing. I quite like this, I actually prefer to get everything out in the open right there and then. But we will have a discussion about that. I also gotta kind of understand to know how my what's our what we can do. So Collins, I believe we are Collins is also another one that I want to introduce here because they have something quite nice here. It no, it's not that. It's very focused, very snappy, focused. Here's the thing I've noticed: if they want to do something, you either have two things to actually like consolidate attention because in this world of branding and everything, attention is a currency, and the seconds we spend is a currency. I actually want to point that, but babe, remember I want to communicate this to you too as well, in case I forget. In the world where we're trying to do, right? Attention is the currency of what we're fighting for. So the greater the attention we can distill, the more professional we are. I think that's a good way of saying it. Focus and attention separates, makes the smartest decision in this world. Yeah, I think. Oh, my favorite song. I'm gonna write that in my notebook. Actually, I've been actually journaling for quite some time because I'm just been so busy to be honest. No, I should. It's a good habit of mine. No. It is the 3rd of February. I had Dutch class today. In Dutch, I can speak Dutch, but I can't pronounce properly, and that makes a huge difference. Because sometimes the letter, especially in Europe, they use the hard R, man. I'm just gonna write this down in my journal. So what does this mean for us? If attention is a key currency that we're fighting for, what does that mean for us in identity? Number one, our website, without a doubt, the first thing that it has to do before once the product is done, our website has to be designed so that it can captivate attention. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to captivate all attention, but it should at least captivate the attention of who we're looking for. So that's really important. And we need to measure over across, I don't know, like 15 people. How long do they look? I say 7 seconds is a great mark of attention. But let's find out how long of attention is considered great in marketing. Well, the famous 8-second goldfish myth is often cited. Actual industry data suggests that at least 3 seconds of attention of interest, capturing interest needs to be 3 seconds, and then translating it into 15. It's the currency that we have to operate. Here's another one. In Marketing Week. Babe, here it is. Attention is the problem, creativity is the answer. Yeah, I'm doing this on string too. I totally forgot about it. This thing is. Oh! No. Okay. It tastes really bitter. Okay. So attention is the problem, creativity is the answer. So we need. If a page was. Well, my point being is that if a page is going to worth putting a menu like this, it needs to fight for attention. See? There is nothing else distracting it from that, and that is critical. This design choice doesn't really quite work out for that element. Cool. Anyway, but to be honest, this is not what I'm trying to look for. What else am I trying to look for? Is it this? This is not good. This is it's a CRO Shopify agency, but I don't know, man. I don't dig it. Well, they have case studies. It's a mix, but it's different from us. Look, they're trying to improve conversion rate, average order value, but like, how do they do that? But this is pretty good. But see, they also keep that. This is websites like this, they're very less creative and they're very more functional, more technical. I don't know with that, to be honest. I don't think we are, because we certainly don't have the ability to. We're not positioning ourselves like that. Our unique selling point has never been about technicality, but creativity with technicality in a second. But I want to see what ChatGPT did about this. Yeah, maybe that's what they're doing because automatically I look for that. I look at them and I just think to myself that I don't think that's where we're going for. I don't think that's what my fiance is, to be honest. I think she can do this, but this isn't a website design. I look at this and this is not a website design. And they're not trying to tell me that this is website design. They already know. So there's no point in actually going here, to be honest. Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, what was that website? You know what I actually don't like about that page is that inclusion of music. I can't hear my own music. I think it's really intrusive. But I guess like if they're doing it because they're doing it, then fine. Yeah. Where was it? It was ChatGPT. ChatGPT and AI is a double-edged sword. It's kind of like it takes away your job, but it allows you create quicker. So I mean, if you're in the area of creating, yeah, then it's good. But like, if you're not in the career of creating, then then you got a problem. To be honest, let's look at Ueno. I love Ueno. Ueno is amazing. It's done it. The only thing that I don't like about it is like you're not Japanese, bro. But like, hey, I don't make the rules really. If it works for them, it works for them. So like, speaking of which, it works for them, business solutions and stuff like that. You know, I was, I think in past I mentioned that I've come to learn that I don't want to take any advice from anyone who hasn't done this unless they have done this and so on and so forth. But I also understand I've come to realize of another thing as well, which technically is that um, one person's solution mm, could very likely not work for us. I mean, especially if it's a specific context. I think in this context of scaling, I wouldn't know. I would assume that in the context of scaling, this may not actually work. This may not be the same because scaling is already established as an action. But the reason I feel that that's the case, and I invite anyone to correct me on that, is that with solutions, right, you're at the mercy of time, place, and time, really and truly. Are at the right place and right time, and people and their consumer might also be at a different place and different time in their finance and economy, what they're looking for in competition, market saturation, etc. So that's not really saying that what someone's solution it work for them really would work for us. I really don't think so. To be fair, you could try it, I think the most important thing is to try it and find out, fuck around and find out. To be honest, but I certainly do think that trying and doing allows you to actually understand, is this going to work out or is this not going to work out? Because if it's not going to work, and then you can definitively say that okay, this is a solution for us. You know. If one operates on assumption on the idea that that is a solution, oh, this now got podcast. Okay, where is that website? Oh, Hello Monday. Hello Monday is nice. I actually quite like that. Again, see another thing. But by the way, I've noticed that these are all the menus that have this are owned by DAP agency. So I have to ask ourselves, is this really just a DAP agency's way of doing things? Let's have a look. Yeah, could be. I applied so many times to work at that agency. You know what? Maybe it actually come to me when I actually do something. The reason why anyone at that agency didn't want to hire me is simply because I couldn't speak Dutch. Nah, you might think, oh, that's just a butthurt way of saying this, but in this country, when you want to connect with clients, which is important, it's because of, you guys speak Dutch, and they are quite firm about that. Pretty tough, though. Pretty tough. It's not based out of, where the hell is that thing? Ueno? Nueno. No, but Ueno isn't that different from everything else, to be honest. So, like, it's not Ueno either. Ugh. 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 Oh. I'm fairly certain it was these guys. Yeah, wait, was it? Let's see. I'm fairly certain it was Via Collins. I think it's simply because, like, I was using it on a dual screen situation. Let's check it out. I have a lot of screens open. We should see. I'm really certain it was these guys. Why did they take it away? Did they take it away? I think they did. What? Strange. Oh. Right. Yeah, let's look at Studio Fright actually. I won't put this up here. Studio Fright is great. Studio Fright honestly represents everything that we want to be. I think like this is the closest iteration of what our dream is. But as we know, this will take time. And honestly, I do fear sometimes whether are we capable of reaching up to that. But then I have to trick myself into thinking, it hasn't been proven that we aren't capable of doing it. Neither has it been proven that we are capable of doing it. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. I've got pentagram as well. Pentagram's crazy. Nah. I think they really did take it down. I don't know why they would do that though. Maybe they were onto something. No. I do not know. Okay, I guess we can move on then. Actually expecting a mail today. Your packet is later vandaag beschikbaar. That is such a tough thing to pronounce. SEH. Bekijken. He's still there. He's somewhere in the pipe. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, how about portfolio? Maybe it's in the portfolio section. Because if I can't find it then I give up. I gotta do things, man. Open. Oh, okay, go toilet as well. Okay, back to it. Back. Hey, they also did paydays as well. Huh, what the hell? Yes, everyone knows everyone. Maybe I'll come into contact with this beat guys later. I hope not. But yeah. Let's see if the stream is long enough. If the stream isn't long enough, if the stream is long enough, then I'm good. Because I need to actually get my RAM. I don't have a great laptop, which is a bit annoying. Yep, stream is pretty long enough. I'm gonna stop streaming, but here focus on getting down some like stuff too. So I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll do mine earlier because I actually really want to work in a cafe or something. Anyway, alright, take care. Bye bye. Stop streaming.